break through, but not like that. All of a sudden, I'm leaving on the car. It starts smoking. Light gray smoke, almost like it's cold outside and you breathe and you can see it. So nothing really dramatic, no odor, but it scared me. And I went and told Mom, call the fire department. This car is smoking out here. And for the first time going to school, I was afraid to go to school because I'd get bullied in ways I have no defense against. But it was the first time I left home thinking, I might not see this house again. Of course, you see me now, we're still living in the same home a good 25, 28 years later.
But you know what, Joshua? I still hadn't figured out why that car was smoking. I talked to mechanics about it, and they still, nobody knows. But it was smoking at the back wheel by the brakes.
So it did smoke.
Yeah, it was smoking.
Okay.
But I hadn't drove the car for a few months because I was doing some work on it. But I wasn't doing anything on it. And there's no electricity going to the wheel.
But it happened.
It was smoking.
So can you see how traumatic that will be, though? Those are the kinds of things we call trauma, and how that would affect his brain.
Me, looking at that, because
it traumatized you too.
Saw it, it would have kept smoking. It might have got hot enough to start burning. I don't know.
Yeah. So can you see how that may have affected him to this day?
But he didn't tell me that bothered him. I didn't know he saw it. I remember I came home. I was at work. Daddy called me, and I came home and looked at it. And I disconnected the battery, took the battery out so it wouldn't have no current smoke.
Do you guys have open communication? Like, do you listen to each other when you're speaking and actually validate what each other is saying?
He didn't tell me that. He was going to school when I got there.
Right, I understand that.
But I didn't. This is the first time I heard he saw it.
Oh. Yeah. This is the first time you've talked about this, Josh.
When I started telling
you scared so that you didn't want to talk about it?
When I talk to you about stuff,
that car smoking.
Well, no, he's telling you.
I don't remember you telling me that. Right. It scared you.
So he's telling you now why. If he didn't tell you, why he wouldn't tell you? Go ahead and tell me.
When I try to talk to Dad about stuff that's kind of important to me, he either ignores it, he blows it off, or worse. So I don't really say a lot to Dad about anything that's on my mind.
Okay. So that particular incident, you didn't tell your dad though that you leaned on the car and you saw it and you saw the smoke and you were completely traumatized. You went to school and you were worried that your home would be burned by the time you came back.
Yeah, and again, this is a car that we didn't use, so it was just like sitting there waiting to be towed away. So my gut, because I was into fire prevention at the time, said that this was an electrical fire. Now keep that part in mind. Yeah. That starts off into some things that happened more recently. So within the past 5 years, as opposed to last century. We used to have this sturdier tank of a laptop in the reading room. And every so often I'd pass by the reading room, these would be on sites that I learned from experience you should not be on because hackers will get in and mess your data up. And I had to constantly warn her about those sites. And the message was not getting through. So I'm disturbed when Dee gets on a computer because I know she's going to be doing those sites, or even worse, applications on smartphone and smart tablet. But the other thing is, a few years ago, I'd be left home by myself because Dad would have to take Dee and Mom somewhere. I wasn't feeling well. I would try to straighten up my room a little bit, but I would get this strange smoke scent coming from nearby. And surprisingly, I narrowed it down to coming from Thea's room. Now, I didn't see thick black smoke or anything. It's just a very faint whiff of a smoke scent.
Sensory.
Yeah. And so I'm looking for this smoke scent because I don't want the house to burn down. And apparently, I've been accused of taking stuff from Thea, which I hadn't. And Thea was very specific with a long list of books that I never even heard of.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I was really after was find that smoke smell and stop it because I don't want the house to burn down. And ever since then, she's put a lock on her door, but that hasn't stopped the smoke stink. But the only thing that's happened is I can't find it and stop it. And if the house, I want to say when the house burns down, that door is going to be swelled from the heat.
So let me address that. Can I address that and in a clinical and scientific way?
Okay.
Okay. I really want you to hear me out. Okay. So for neurodivergent people that have this incredible brain, okay, there's something called an increase in dopamine. Okay, dopamine is the pleasure hormones neurotransmitter. There's also a misfiring of something in our brain. We call it amygdala. The amygdala is that region of your brain that brings about fear. Okay, also bring about excitement. It can bring about anger. So sometimes there are people that may hear things and see things and feel things and even smell things that are illusionary. Okay, we call it illusion. The big term for it is, and this is the clinical term, and I'm not saying this is what you have at all. It could be psychosis, okay, and there are different degrees of it. So when we perceive that we feel things that's tactile, olfactory, we smell things that are not there, that other people doesn't smell, or we hear things that other people doesn't hear, or sometimes we think that we're having these experiences with things in our environment. Clinically, that's something we can address. Mhm. Environmentally, what we say then is to make some environmental changes, right? Like this thing is coming directly from in her room. She's not smelling it, but you are smelling it. Because if you have this incredible sensory response to your environment, you could be smelling things. There are people I know that can sit down and they can hear the electrical wiring in the electrical circuit going. Yes, they're able to hear it. Now, I'm not going to
That's
invalidate.
right. Some people can do that.
I'm not able to invalidate that and say you're not hearing it because I know what sensory does, right? I know that region of the brain, what happens when it's fired up. So I don't want to invalidate what you're saying, but it is possible that you're able to smell the little grounding that's in the electrical socket. And if you talk to electricians, they will tell you, yeah, there is a smell. It's a faint smell, but it's not harmful because they have the mechanism there to shut it off.
Hmm.
Yes. So I don't want you to worry about it. And I understand that you're worried that something may happen to your sister, right? Or that room or that door may not be protected, but I don't want you to worry about it. Okay? I'm pretty sure your father and mother are very, very, very interested in making sure the environment is safe for you and them as well. Okay? Don't want you to worry about it, but it is happening. Mr. Stevens, I do want you to know there are people that have that olfactory
I
sensitivity.
understand that.
Yeah,
I
they
know
can
people that do that.
Yes.
They change that can tell when to change frequency.
Yeah. And
And,
it's yeah.
and the reason I say I believe that because we had instruments and we could test it, and it was doing it when he said it.
There you go.
I wish I could be some of these people.
Well, if we did the instruments, and you kind of go up and down.
Mhm.
It's modulating. You got a high one and a low one.
Mhm.
Okay? And the current here is 60 cycles.
Mhm.
And he could tell if it went up or went down below that 60. And you put a oscillation scope on it and you can see the waves.
Yeah.
And
And
he wasn't seeing the scope screen. And he
Right.
said it's going up Well, it's going down. It's good.
So yes,
You
yes,
know, we didn't believe it.
yeah, no.
Until then.
And I'm telling you, these things that we see in practice, these things happen, right? Now, when it comes to your sister and her things and going into her room, remember the First Amendment, right? What's the first rights? Your first rights. You have the right to be left alone. So it's the same with her boundaries. So I would say, I know as a big brother, you want to protect her, but remember, she has her own idiosyncrasies as well. She probably don't want people going into her space because she feels like she has the right to be left alone. So I said, don't worry about it, Joshua. What I want us to worry about when it comes to you is modulating your thoughts. That's what I want us to worry about. When you become upset, I do want you to find mechanisms that you can modulate your thought. Joshua will be a good candidate for a listening program that I run. It's called the SSP. The problem with the SSP is a subscription, right? Because it's music, you're using music to calm yourself. Do you have music? Do you like music?
Mm, sometimes.
Okay, so these are different types of music. So there are some assessment that I do, and based on the result of the assessment, the music is tailored, is filtered for you. And you have several pathways to choose from. It can be classical, it can be everyday, it can be vision, it can be what they call wonder. So the different music groups that you choose. And maybe a 3 month program for you will help you kind of when you start to think about ruminate on those things that you hadn't done, that you feel like time's running out on you, that it can come back and it can recalibrate your nervous system. Okay, your sympathetic nervous system, because that sympathetic nervous system, if it's aroused, what happens is you're always in that flight or flight mode, right? Every little thing you move, like you become an inanimate object like this. So if you push it, you go, right? If you pull it, you come. But you want to be able to stand firm and make your own decision. Move when you want to move, right? Let me ask, Joshua, are you taking medication?
Mm, mostly for heart, cholesterol, and diabetes.
Okay, nothing psychiatric, right? Nothing for mood, nothing for depression.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, Joshua isn't taking any medication, right? So is
No,
Caleb.
no,
Caleb's not taking any medication, right?
no.
Okay.
She was on something and said it. What it make you do? Hallucinate, have weird dreams or something like that.
Hmm.
She
Sometimes
didn't
that
like
happens.
it. So
Yeah. The research has shown that those medications don't really work on people with on the spectrum. I know,
no,
yeah, I know they give
nothing
the,
worked.
yeah, they give the antipsychotics because they're hearing things or smelling things that Josh does. It don't do nothing. It's the thing that works is the behavior modification, is the therapy like this, is the environmental modification. It's a continuous long-term process. It's something that you do for the rest of your life. Why? Because some of us would just do some things for the rest of our lives. That's the way it is.
Dr. Tomasevich was giving him some medicine. And he would tell us, he said, some medicine work and some don't, so we have to try for a few months. If it no change, he try something else. And after a while, he just said, no, it
Yeah,
ain't working.
nothing's working. Talking about that, do you remember that diagnosis they gave you when you were young? That this
It's what you said was. I went and looked it up, but
uh, oh, which one? Because I said schizoaffective disorder.
schizo.
Oh, oh, schizotypical.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a diagnosis. That's a personality disorder. It's completely so. A personality disorder is like a behavior. So schizotypical are people that have eccentric ways of doing things, and sometimes very odd. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't what it is. It was the one that you have to answer three sexual oriented questions. to, you could fill all the blocks, but you got to do those 3 to get that diagnosis that he gave you. And he told me that, and I'm looking at him.
I don't
Why
know
are
what
you doing that if he's 5 years old? He didn't answer no
I
question.
don't know what instrument they use. If he wasn't sexualized at 5 and doing sexually inappropriate things.
But that's why would he give him that diagnosis?
Because you, the parent, as the guardian, you agreed to it. You
No,
should have
I
said no.
asked him why.
Then you should have said, I don't want this on my child's record. You've got a lot of power as the
I
guardian.
told him the
Mr.
director of special education told him.
Yeah, Mrs. Stevens, I want you to know this. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. All you were doing was protecting your kid. But the thing is, a lot of parents don't do that. That's all. Yes. So at that time, had you known, you would have said, take it off his record.
Since he was born,
Mm-hmm.
I done got 2 doctor's degree in street lesson, no experience,
Yes.
because everything is new.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, why are you giving it to him if you can't answer? But he fit all the other blocks. He missing 3.
That was enough to make him to report him to the board. That was enough.
That was, he was what, 5, then we just
That's
getting in
not-
there,
it wasn't-
still in that shock of him having this, and it was just,
Yeah. What if you can find it? Text it to me, okay? Let me see what it is. If you can find our diagnosis, I said a lot of things I don't really remember. I have to go back and look.
I know.
And I wasn't we're talking before Caleb, so I wasn't really writing and stuff, like I am now. Okay, Joshua. Well, so tell me, what do you think? This is how the session will be. Okay, once your father can get the insurance situation situated.
Well, I don't know what I told you, I spent 2.5 hours
Mm.
talking to Humana.
Mm-hmm.
I called them to ask them a question, and I must have hung up on 3 or 4 of them. I said, I got a question I want to ask you. Oh, do you have A and B in there? I said, I'm going to ask you a question. It doesn't matter whether I have that or not. So I finally got to about an hour and a half. She put me with somebody that said, okay, if you got this, we can change it. Then she, salesperson, and she changed the program he was on to another, what do you call it?
Insurance plan?
A different plan. But it's still Humana, but a different plan.
Okay.
Supposed to give him more things. But it doesn't start until the 1st of August. So they're supposed to send, the things we talked about.
The referral?
No.
The new
The
plan.
salesperson is supposed to send me the plan
So
I can look over it and see.
does he have Medicare?
Yeah, Medicare and Medicaid.
You have Medicare and Medicaid.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I need. I don't know about the Humana, but the Humana would
But
be
Humana is managing,
the Medicaid.
yeah, Medicare and Medicaid.
Okay.
Molina is doing Medicaid. Humana is doing Medicare. I don't know how they got it different like that, but they split it some kind of way.
So what I need is Joshua's, because I'm credentialed with Medicare, and my Medicaid is in the process of being renewed. I need
Now,
Joshua's.
She told me, don't use his red and white blue card. He uses Humana card. So, everything have to go through Humana instead of going through
Medicare.
Medicare.
And I have to be credentialed with Humana, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not credentialed with Humana.
But that's why I don't like those programs. They always calling me and they're trying to get us to get on one. I said, no, I don't want that.
Did you ask her if I'm credentialed with them? If I'm on a panel?
She looked through a thing looking for it. She didn't find it. I
Yeah.
don't know whether she looked all the way through it or not, but she was trying to get me on that program. So I will see when she send me the thing, and I can look over and see what's
Well, you guys decide what you want to do with Joshua in terms of his therapy,
okay.
because he does need therapy.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think therapy will work for Josh. Josh
See,
is
what I wanted to ask him was, I know that you're not in that program.
mhm.
When you see him, would they pay part of
Who will be a part of it?
Humana?
I have to be credentialed with them before they'll pay me.
Okay.
So I used to be with Humana TriCare East, and then they changed us to Tri West.
Yeah.
So, and I don't even know what it takes to be credentialed with
Okay, now
Humana.
that's different Humana, I
Yeah.
think, because Humana does the TRICARE, but
hmm
this is Humana
Medicare.
different thing. This is a
hmm
different company.
So, Joshua gets Social Security, correct?
Yes,
Okay. What does he do with his Social Security
it goes into the family fund, and
for the upkeep? So Joshua can, what we can do is Joshua can pay for his, I can pro bono it, and he can pay for his sessions.
do what?
Pro bono. In other words, I charge you at a reduced rate,
Okay.
and then it's like private pay if he wants to do that until all of this gets straightened out. I mean, I'm gonna call Humana and ask what I need to do to get on a panel. Um, that's one thing to do. If I have to call and ask, do I need to be on the panel? The thing about those insurance companies, there are so many different ones, and they're just not
I
standardized.
don't think one know what
No, they don't.
everything that one is doing.
Yeah, they're dumb. So that's the thing to think about. He can pay it out of pocket, and if he pays it out of pocket, he can be reimbursed.
Who?
The insurance company, it claims.
He claimed Humana or
Whoever he covered,
Medicare?
it will be Humana. If he comes to see me as a specialist, and I'm not in network, and he pays out of pocket, I give him the receipts, and he files his claim. That's what happened with some of my
Okay, I
patients.
have to look on that when they send it to me to see if
Look onto
it.
that and ask them when you call and ask them, what if he sees a provider with the specialty to treat his autism, and but the provider is not in network and he pays out of pocket and I pay out of pocket? Can he get reimbursed?
Okay.
That's a simple question to ask. And you give them my name.
Said I was gonna lead into that when but they never
Yeah.
answered my question or let me get started.
All right. So
All
this
right.
is where we are. Okay. So don't worry about your sister. I know you care about her. I know you worry about her, right? Don't worry about her. You just have this extraordinary sensory response to things. So it is true, you are smelling what you smell. So it's not incorrect, but it's fixed in a way that the grounding is done. There's nothing going to happen to it. Okay. Also, remember that the First Amendment, the first rights, you have the right to be left alone. So does she. Okay. So the next time I see you in a forum like this, we can go over some things. I want you to start doing some other things. Think about things that you can do right now so that you feel fulfilled, and there are plenty of things you can do. Okay. Um, I have literatures and stuff that I can give you. Okay. Things you can look into. So, yeah, thumbs up. My 4 o'clock downstairs. So there's something to think about, okay? Think about if you want to come, we'll do private pay for a little bit. I can pro bono it for $100 a session instead of the 280. So that's something that
They're supposed to send me the copy of what we talked about, what's on that new program.
mm-hmm.
And I wanna look over it and see but it doesn't start until the 1st of August.
Okay, that's just a few days away. That's
Yeah.
next week.
Friday
Yeah.
and Saturday. Yeah.
So,
But I will check and see
okay.
if they will reimburse.
Caleb, thank you so much for allowing your brother to take this session.
You're welcome. Well, you said you wanted to have a one-on-one, and I think that would still be more fair if we got one at one point. Would the insurance things allow that?
No, they're not gonna allow me to see him one-on-one because he doesn't have your insurance.
Maybe next month.
Yeah, one of the
Next.
reasons why I was happy that Joshua agreed to sit here because my billing, I could say, is family session. Okay, and you, the identified client, you were here. But if I take him in alone on your insurance, it's called insurance fraud. I could lose my license. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not know
You
that.
got to know all the loopholes to
Yes.
stay out of trouble.
But this is fine. This is perfectly fine because this is family session. Your father was able to chime in. You were able to chime in, and Joshua didn't mind. Okay. So our next session will be for you. Okay.
I tried not to chime in. Really, I'd say, don't worry about me, because I don't want that to end up twisted into only leave me alone if something were actually to happen.
I understand that. I know you're not going to be left alone. I understand that. But this is the first step. Right, Kayla? Let's start small. Are you going to leave your sister alone? Josh?
I think what she's saying is, when she was in school, the kids didn't want to play with her or something, or was they bothering her? Anyway, she told her teacher and said something, so she told the kids not to play with her. If she would come up to them, they would walk away. No, that was leaving her alone. I think that's what she meant. Not totally leaving her alone, but don't get in her space if
I don't
she
think
don't
that's
want you
what she
in it.
said. I don't think that's what she said. What she said is, I understand the whole idea of being left alone, but she's saying that's not going to be the only thing. What she's saying is the problem between Joshua and her is not just leaving her alone, but there's going to be other things.
Oh,
That's what she means.
okay.
I've been talking to Caleb long enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I have to go downstairs for my 4 o'clock, and next week we'll talk more. Okay.
Okay. Do I explain what I meant now or next time?
Okay, go ahead and explain it.
I don't. Well, there was a time. Josh had wanted me to wake him up for Joel Osteen, and I was kind of getting in that habit. Mom and Dad had left, and I went back to bed because the only reason I'm able to get up then is because my own sleep schedule is not good. But it turned out a program I had wanted to see came on later, and Josh didn't get me up for that. And it turned out because the night before, something I turned into Dad yelling at him about, not bossing me around. And I didn't know the context of that, even though it was there, just kind of yelling out of nowhere. And Josh told Mom that he didn't wake me because he didn't want it misinterpreted as not as bossing me around. So now I'm kind of on high alert. You're saying not to worry about me and worried about being twisted into only if something actually happened.
So no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that your brother cannot worry about you. The thing you don't want him to interfere with and say that you have the right to be left alone. That's all I'm saying, and I'm sure Joshua understands that. Right, he understands that. And we were very specific. We talk about your room because he goes into your room. He's thinking that he's smelling, smoke out of the thing. He does smell it, but he's concerned. That's what I'm talking about. Everything else, we're not talking about it. But this is just the first session, and we need to go into depth. Come on, let's go. My 4 o'clock is here. So back of the matter, you guys have a loving family, and you guys have a loving family, and you're always gonna care about each other, no matter what. Okay? It may be a little bit annoying, but you guys are gonna end up caring for each other.
I figured I might as well say that, but honestly, I'm concerned about what would happen at home after having clears that out.
Your father here, it will be fine. Let's go to here. Right there. Oh, you can have it.
I think the last time I
Another patient waiting. It's not so good. Oh, man. Yeah. That's it.
Forget. Well, you just press the button, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'll walk you out.